Hello everyone, I am a storyteller. I know many of you are watching this video to relax and fall asleep. But before you close your eyes, like the video and subscribe to the channel. Tell me what time you're watching and where you're from. Now, sit back, relax, and listen to my story. I had never seen someone sitting in my living room without permission, until that night. I noticed it out of the corner of my eye, a hooded figure motionless on my old couch. My heart was pounding, my mind was reeling from the wave of sleep. I blinked once, and it was gone. I'm used to falling asleep on the sofa, leaving the TV on all night. Sometimes I wake up drowsy, disoriented, but always know I'm still in my apartment. That night, things were no longer normal. When I looked up at the clock on the TV, it was almost midnight. I rubbed my eyes, trying to distinguish what was real and what was an illusion of restless sleep. But I'm not wrong. That figure, still there, wearing the hooded cloak, sitting right on the green armchair I bought from a second-hand store. I couldn't see its face. There was only the outline of the head and shoulders, completely motionless. My heart rate accelerated, my breathing became rapid. I wanted to scream, but my throat was stiff. I closed my eyes tightly, then opened them. And it disappeared. I sat up straight, my whole body shaking. The apartment was completely quiet, only the TV made a faint sound. I stood up, walked towards the armchair and placed my hand on it. It's still the same worn fabric, but there's a bit of warmth, or is that just my imagination? I went back into the bedroom and turned on all the lights, trying to reassure myself that it was just a product of fatigue. I lay down on the bed, pulling the blanket up to my chin. But just a few hours later, when I opened my eyes, I realized something was wrong. The streetlight shined through the window curtains, illuminating a figure. Tall. Wear a hoodie. I froze. My back is cold. I prayed it was just a trick of the light, but the feeling of fear deep inside told me it wasn't an illusion. I reached out and turned on the bedside lamp. For a fraction of a second, light filled the room, but the figure had disappeared. I spent the rest of the night with the lights on, eyes glued to every dark corner of the room. But I know, no matter how many lights I turn on, that figure will still come back. The following days, I tried to keep myself busy. I went out more, avoided staying home alone. But no matter where I go, I always feel invisible eyes watching me from afar. Every time I turned around, there was nothing but empty space. But I know it's still there. That night, I decided not to run away anymore. I stayed in the apartment, turned on all the lights, turned on the TV to fill the eerie silence. But around midnight, I felt its presence again. The atmosphere in the room felt heavier, as if someone was standing right next to me. I turned my head, and saw it. This time, he wasn't sitting on the armchair anymore. It stands in the corner of the room, right next to the old bookshelf. His shoulders were broad, his hood completely obscuring his face. I couldn't see its eyes, couldn't hear any sounds, but I could feel yes it's looking at me. I froze. Heart pounding. I wanted to run, I wanted to scream, but my body didn't listen. And then, just like before, it disappeared. I know I can't continue living like this anymore. I started losing sleep and became paranoid. I see it everywhere, living room corners, hallways, reflections in bathroom mirrors. It always just stands there, silent, motionless. I installed additional door locks and bought motion sensor lights, but all were in vain. I don't know what it is, but I know one thing, it's not human. A few nights later, around 1 a.m., I heard a knock on the door. Not loud, just noises knock, knock, came softly from the bedroom window. I held my breath, my whole body felt cold. I reached out and pulled the curtains. Nothing. But I know it's still there. I felt a primal fear welling up inside me. I can't live like this anymore. I have to do something, before it's too late. I decided to leave the apartment the next morning. But as I packed my things, I found something that stunned me, an old, crumpled piece of paper stuck under the couch cushion. It looked like a letter, scrawled in black ink. I tried to leave. But he wouldn't let me. He's still here. If you're reading this, it's too late. I felt my whole body tremble. What does this letter mean? Who left it? And most importantly, who is he? A chill ran down my spine. I slowly turned around, and saw it. This time, it was no longer standing far away. It's right in front of me. His hand, cold, was placed on my shoulder. I wanted to scream, I wanted to run away, but my body was as stiff as a stone statue. A hoarse, creepy voice rang in my ears. Do you think you can leave? Darkness filled the room. I can't see anything anymore. There was only a feeling left, that I was no longer myself. And then, the world sank into nothingness. What do you think happened to me? Leave a comment, if you're still around.